Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. I am so excited for today's video because we are going to be pulling my September TBR from the TBR jar. So y'all know how much fun I have making these videos, and I hope you have just as much fun watching them. And I've got a little extra fun going on because my hair is having some crazy personality today, so if it's sticking up during this whole video, please just ignore it. She's just having a day. But anyways, hopefully this is a sign that we're gonna get a really fun TBR, because if my hair is crazy, it's gotta mean something, right? Anyways, so enough of me being silly. Just like last month, we are going to pull 6 prompts from the TBR jar, and I'm going to pick books from my TBR cart to fit those 6 prompts for my September TBR. And I have to say, not to give any spoilers, because August isn't quite over at the time that I am recording this, but I have had an amazing reading month for August, and I think you all are going to be really excited to see what I got done in August and what I read. So if you want to see if I got my August TBR done, make sure you stick around and keep an eye out for my August reading wrap up. But enough yapping, let's get into the TBR jar. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so ready. These are just so fun to me, so I love having the chance to do this every month. All right, prompt number 1. Ooh, a book that takes place in your home state. So my home state is Virginia, so I'm gonna have to look for a book that takes place in Virginia. And I don't know if I have something on the cart that specifically does take place there, so I will do my best. Bear with me for a minute. I'm gonna dig through these and see if I can find any that take place in Virginia. You know what's really annoying? If you look up like books set in Virginia, Goodreads is super helpful, and they have a long list of books that are set in Virginia. Multiple of these I have on my physical TBR, and some of them I actually just took off of the cart. So we might have to go off of the cart for this one, but I'm gonna scan and just see if I can find any that are actually on the cart. So I have Firestarter. I just saved Finley Donovan is Killing It because it's on Kindle Unlimited now, so I'm very excited to read that, although it's not part of my physical TBR. I think I have All the Sinners Bleed. Okay, maybe I don't. That one might also be on Kindle Unlimited, to be honest with you. Oh my god, there's so many pages. Well, I can't believe we immediately got one that's gonna stump me right out of the gate. And if you're sitting here and you know one of these is set in Virginia and you're yelling at me, I am so sorry. Y'all, I am literally not seeing any books that I have here on the cart. So I'm gonna double check a few of them that I think there's like an off chance they might be set in Virginia. And if none of them are, then I am just gonna grab Firestarter, and that's gonna be the book for this prompt. So maybe this one. I feel like Grady Hendrix books are normally set in like random small towns. This one's in Florida. I don't know anything about this one. I love that I just put a ton of fantasy on the cart, and then it's like, find a book set in Virginia. Which, by the way, if I find one set in Tennessee, I will read that, but it's not technically my home state. Okay, I feel like this one might be set in England or Ireland, so we're gonna go with that. If it's not, sorry, I'm being stupid. I feel like this one is probably not set in America. Okay, this one's in Canada. I'm pretty sure that this one is not set in like a real world place. Oh, just kidding. It's in Kansas, but not the right state. All right, I've read Columbia and University of Georgia on the first page, so I'm gonna assume that we're nowhere near Virginia. Ugh, this is exhausting, y'all. This is a crazy prompt. I mean, I'm assuming the love of my afterlife is set in the afterlife, but I'm not getting an immediate answer on this one. So, I just want to say, I don't think they ever confirm the exact location in this book because it is post-apocalyptic, but based on what I've seen, people do tend to think that this is set in, like, Appalachia, and people seem to think it's one of the Virginias, so either Virginia or West Virginia, somewhere in that area, but I'm gonna say that's not concrete enough for me to go with this one, so I think we're gonna have to go with Firestarter.
Several days later.
I feel lied to. This book definitely starts in New York. Okay, I think technically part of this book happens in Virginia, but the whole book is not set in Virginia. So I don't know if that counts or not. But you know what book I know is 100% set in Virginia? It's S.A. Cosby. And I actually think this is even better because this is going to be a painful book, first and foremost. But this book in particular is actually set, I believe, in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm originally from a small town right outside of Richmond. So I'm gonna go with Razorblade Tears. Sorry that took me so long to manage and get to, but that is gonna be the first book on our TBR. It's a returner, and honestly, I feel really confident about getting to it this time. All right, let's make our second pick. Our second prompt is historical fiction, which I also feel like I took most historical fiction off of the cart, but I'm sure we will have something that fits this. I think we might have luck with The Warm Hands of Ghost. Okay, so this is January 1918. Our character was a revered field nurse until she was wounded and discharged from the medical corps. And it seems like this is set during the Great War, so I do believe that this is a historical fiction novel. And honestly, I'm not gonna try to even find competition for this. I am happy with this pick, and I really love Catherine Arden's historical fiction. There's normally a little bit of magic interwoven in there too, so that is gonna be book 2 on the TBR. All right, number 3. This will be halfway. Ooh, okay, so prompt number 3 is going to be a debut novel, and honestly, I feel like I don't buy that many, like, brand new authors that I've never heard of, but I'm sure we can figure something out. Okay, so I think we might be in luck. I actually think this book right here is a debut. And that's This Will Be Fun. So this is actually kind of a fun take on the fairy tale with all of your characters who have been involved in a grand story coming back together many years later and having some unresolved issues. So I'm actually really excited to add this to the TBR, and I'm glad that this was a debut so I could pick it. Okay, prompt number 4. Oh, this one's so easy, thank goodness. Just a paperback. So any paperback on here that I want to pick, and honestly, I'm really excited. Okay, there's obviously so many paperbacks on here, so I feel like I have a lot of good options to choose from. I gotta be honest with you, I'm really being drawn to Legends and Lattes. This has been on my TBR for a really long time, and this is the first time that I feel like I've had a prompt that actually fits with this so that I can pick it. And sitting here looking at the other books, I'm like not even wanting to consider another one. So I think we're gonna go with Legends and Lattes because it is about time that I get this off of the TBR. And I actually have the second book in this series, which I think is a prequel, but honestly that's just heinous for me to have both of them and not have read either. So I'm gonna go with Legends and Lattes. And we have 2 more prompts to pull. It's getting a little tangled up there. Okay, a book with a one-word title, which I feel like this is actually a little more difficult than I would expect, but I do think I have some good options. So I do have Belladonna up here. I also have Kindred, Babel, of course, and Bloom counts as well. I think I'm really between Kindred and Belladonna. And honestly, Belladonna is another one that has just been on my TBR for a really long time. So I think I want to go with that for book number 5. All right, so we are on the last prompt. Ooh, okay, the highest rated book on my digital TBR, which is interesting because I haven't updated my digital TBR shelf in a while on Goodreads. So let's just see what's on there. I have a feeling it might be Brandon Sanderson. All right, so we're gonna go to my digital TBR and then I guess we're going with average rating. And okay, I'm not counting a book that has literally one review that's 5 stars. Okay, I have to be honest with y'all. So, King a Life is a nonfiction, and I don't really want to pick a nonfiction book for this. So technically, I should pick Shogun, but I think I'm gonna cheat a little bit because I really want to read Blood Over Brighthaven, and Sword of Kaigen was 5 stars for me. So not only is Blood Over Brighthaven one of the highest rated books on here, but it's also a 5 star prediction for me. So I think I'm gonna go with Blood Over Brighthaven as the last book on my TBR, and hopefully you can forgive me for cheating because I just don't want to pick a nonfiction and I don't want to pick something that I'm not super stoked to read right now. All right, friends, editing Haley here. So after recording my TBR video, I did go back and update my digital TBR so it would be fully up to date to reflect all the books that I have. And I wanted to redo this prompt just to check what the accurate book would be. And so, as you can see here, One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This would actually be my top book that's not in a series. So, I'm not going to take Blood Over Brighthaven off, but I might add that as one additional book. Okay, so let's do a final review of my 6 books. So, Blood Over Brighthaven will be the first one. Then we have Belladonna, Legends and Lattes, This Will Be Fun, The Warm Hands of Ghost, and Razorblade Tears. So if you want to see if I get to these 6 books by the end of the month, you'll have to stick around and come back for my reading wrap up. But otherwise, I would love to know what books are on your TBR for September. So go ahead and let me know down in the comments, and definitely let me know if you've read any of these 6 books because I would love to hear your opinions on them. Other than that, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye!